announce who our future council person is. Any questions with that?
Yeah, my suggestion is that we take nominations from the floor and vote. Although that we can do a paper ballot.
We've done paper ballot many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what we've always done, a secret ballot.
Paper ballot, you said?
Paper.
Yeah. When there's been more than one person, yeah, we've done that.
I mean, different and wrong aren't the same, but
So, by all means, that's not my recommendation, but I don't know that, every time that we've ever.
well, we'd certainly entertain your recommendation. What is that?
It would just simply be a nomination and, a second, and then any other nominations from the floor. So you could nominate A and she could nominate B, and then there would be a vote, and however, whoever gets 3 votes would be the candidate that would be.
Can we do that if we don't get 3 votes for somebody? That'll be our fallback.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you explain that? If we don't get 3 votes for somebody.
If we do a closed ballot here, do it the way we've always done it. If we don't get 3, then we'll move to his suggested idea.
Sounds good.
I will tell you that secret ballots are not permitted, so you would need to write your name on the ballot.
Oh, well, we can do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, please put your name on the
We've been
ballot.
doing it wrong all this time.
I
Okay.
am 1,000% sure that secret ballots are inappropriate.
Okay.
All right, be sure to sign your ballot.
They provide proper ID before they can send you. It's driver's license now. Come on, people, this is right.
When you're ready, Jan.
Okay.
In Washington, D.C.
Can you sign it?
Second. First name.
First name, okay. That's good.
You might get mixed up with all the other Jans on the board. Thank you for clarifying that. You know, I thought this room was bugged.
I wonder if she said.
Just,
Something like it.
The new council member for the Village of Clinton is Keith Clacker.
Welcome, Keith. We could swear him in right now.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Let me make sure I get your name right, Keith. Like, come up here. I'll swear you in. Let me find your. Well, I lost it somewhere in the paperwork.
Thank you for everyone that did put your name forward. And in all my years or experience, this is we've never had this much attendance
All
or,
right, we'll let
or
him
people
fill out the
interested.
rest. Okay.
So in a
Come around.
couple of years, there's going to be seats open.
In 16 months, please run.
Yes.
In
Yes.
40 months, please run. We need new blood.
All right, raise your right
hang on, bud,
Okay.
please. Ross, are you finished? Okay.
I, Keith Clacker,
I, Keith Blackburn,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of council of the Village of Clinton in Summit County.
and faithfully discharge,
I usually give a copy too.
discharge the duties of Summit County,
State of Ohio during my continuance in
Usually give a
office.
copy.
State of Ohio, During my continuous and all.
Welcome forward. Go ahead.
We usually give you a
A
copy.
little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why we got one copy this time, but we've had situations where we've had no copies, so this is a step above the rest. I'll have you sign this after the meeting, and we'll take care of that.
Your seat is
No, no, it's down there at the end. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, as some people in council were saying, I really want to thank all of you for your interest. I think we have a very good crowd here. Keep in mind, next November, there'll be 4 council seats on the ballot, so there's a chance to get your name on the ballot and run. And so there's 4 seats up here. Of course, they may run, so we may have a really big number of people choose from next November. So thank you very much.
Not this coming November, following November.
Yeah, 2025.
And then, thank goodness you're here. Typically, when a seat is filled in DC, that person that fills that seat takes the committee assignments of the person that previously held that seat. So, but the instance that we have here is the person who held that seat was also council vice president. And I don't know that transfers, Marshall. I don't think it does.
No.
We have to have a council vice president?
It is in a codified, yes, it's on the codified ordinances now.
And so
We can put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Good idea.
Okay, yep, all right. Because I just want to say, it's a position in name and just,
We should do it tonight?
yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it should be done tonight. Because,
If I can read the rule.
please do.
Right, in the instance of a vacancy in the office of Vice President, council shall fill such position provided above within 1 month of the effective date of the vacancy.
So,
July 5th.
Yeah.
So, should council fail to so act, the most senior member of council shall automatically assume the office and serve in that role until the end of that then current term.
and the vacancy was in place June
Sixth.
So
This meeting.
we can't put it off till next meeting. Anyway, the position holds that should the president of council not be available to fill their responsibilities, the vice president takes that role. And part of that role is it's 2 heartbeats away from the mayor's seat, basically. Like, we had Clarissa step down a few years ago, and Bud was the president, so he became mayor then. And then so if something like that would happen, and Matt was not able to because he's president now, he wasn't able to fill the mayor's seat, the vice president would fill the mayor's seat. I don't think a first-year council person should be 2 heartbeats away from the mayor's seat. So that you're already president, that leaves Jan or I, and I really have no interest in the position. So at this time, I would like to nominate Jan Godwin to be our vice president of council.
You accept?
Okay.
I'll second it.
Any questions for Jan?
No, I've been there before.
Yeah. Jan did spend many years as our president of council in the past. So call for the vote.
That's why I'll have to have his pencil ready.
Ross,
No.
Joseph,
Aye.
Ginsmore,
Aye.
Steiner, aye. Godwin,
Do I vote?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
and then Keith Clacker.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Motion passes. Jan, welcome,
Back.
Vice President of Council.
There's not gonna be that much use.
Okay, anything else before we move on to the fire chief monthly report, which there will not be one. He's not here. I think it's in the packet. I didn't see one in there.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, there is a fire report.
I do. Okay, here it is. In the middle. So you do have the report in your packet. Street Commissioner monthly report. He's on vacation this week.
Well, we should talk some about that. Later in the meeting, we're going to be doing appropriations. There's appropriations already has gone through a first reading. There's changes to that appropriations. And the changes are dollars. And those dollars are going to be used for two things. They're going to be used for chip and seal. So here it is. The original was $75K. The appropriation now is $150K. We're taking the money that was set aside for the Clinton Road project, and since that we lost our grant money, those dollars have become available. But we need to put it in the appropriations bill to spend that money. The original set aside was $75K. Now it's $150,000. It's going to be for chip and seal for 5 or 6 roads that he had assigned for that. And then the other thing that was in that appropriations is grinding of joints in Shadow Lane. If you drive Shadow Lane, it's like it has speed bumps. They're frost joints or something. And he wants to have those ground off so that the plow goes through there easier in the wintertime.
So the residents be happier they drive through there easier. I've driven down that road, and yeah, I think that's the original road was put in when the development was put in, and those expansion joints have started accumulating in the past 5 or 6 years. That's been done for a long time now.
So those two things will show up on Resolution R2411, which we'll talk about later.
Okay, thank you very much. The zoning inspector's written report that he said provided on Tuesday.
It's in the packet.
It is in the packet. Okay, fantastic. Fiscal officer's reports, he's also not here tonight, but it's in the packet also. With that, let's go move on to unfinished business.
Do we have old business still?
That is old business,
Okay,
actually.
okay.
Just a longer word.
Okay. I just wanted to mention, our last meeting, we had a gentleman that came in and commented on the mowing on the road sides and the berms. And, our street superintendent provided us with, the code of how the state allows for twice a year mowing. And I get being upset about things and you want things taken care of. Like our municipality, like most municipalities, does take care of the mowing of the sides of the roads on big, undeveloped stretches. However, it's a courtesy. Our code states that the landowner is responsible for caring for the road, for the land, for the tree lawn, all the way up to the road, berm of the road. And to, so every other property, just because it isn't an undeveloped woods area, they take care of their tree lawn all the way up to the berm of the road. And so, I'm not advocating that the village stop that courtesy, but just so it's known that it is a courtesy. And to come in and go at somebody in that manner, I think it just could have been done differently. So, that being said.
What he brought in was the cutting of the briars brush and noxious weeds on the side of
Right,
the road.
right,
It doesn't
right.
say twice a year on that. If you read it carefully,
Oh,
it gives certain months, and it's from the 1st to the 26th or 22nd of each month is what it states in there. And I have Marshall is taking a second look at it to verify how it's read. And
You know that's because they want to get the seeds done for before they mature enough to reseed at those 2 points in time.
okay, but no, this actually lists more than just
Oh, okay.
It actually lists 3 or 4 months in there and certain dates within the month.
Right, okay, where I got the two times was, he does it. He historically tries to hit them twice a year, maybe that's where I pulled it in
And
from
he
the
told
last.
me he does it about once a month is what he said he does his mowing there.
Regardless, he doesn't have to, is the point, the end point. And it's a courtesy to those people that own those undeveloped woods or a field and that type of thing. So that was the only point I was trying to make.
Okay.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I think that my viewpoint is he either does it all or he doesn't do any. Because now you're setting a precedence. Why are you going to do this street and this street and not every street? So you're either going to do it all or don't do none. And I think it's hogwash. I think it needs to be done. The guy before him always did it. Not only does, like she said, it stops the seeds, but it also stops the trees from maturing and tearing up our roads.
Right.
So I think he does need to do the job and do all the undeveloped areas or do none of them. But my vote would be he does them all.
Well, mine would be too. That wasn't my point, was just that he doesn't do it. He just
Not
needs to be
yet.
attacked.
We'll wait. Okay, well, during citizen comments, Louis. All right. Well, since we have 2 votes, he does them all. That's good. We just need 3 more. Okay. Unfinished business.
We should probably, quick update on our ongoing computer point person. I have reached out multiple times this month. I haven't gotten return calls. I know, Rita, we're trying to reach out to your person. Marissa, we talked about our buddy in Doylestown, which he has shown interest, but just we're moving forward. We just haven't found the solution that's right for Clinton yet. I don't know if you can add anything there, Bud, but it's been...
Happy to talk with any and all of them. So far, I've talked to, I've been very impressed with. It just comes down to financials at this point.
I think we have gotten good candidates. The biggest issue is fitting within our budget. We don't have a lot set aside for computer, IT, security. And so many of the providers are looking at doing reoccurring revenue or monthly charges, and that doesn't exactly fit what we need. So my hope is we can convince Ed Davis to be our computer person and that he can make referrals like he did with our hard drive when we needed upgraded hard drives. If we could do that, I think that'll be a win for the village, but we're not there yet.
I did send out another inquiry.
Okay, thank you.
And explain, like you and I talked, explain to him that we wanted just a pared down version and to see what he could offer.
Okay.
And since this type of thing has always been under the Community Development Committee, maybe I'll see if we can pull a meeting together with, and
Okay.
see if anybody would come and,
Present.
talk to the committee one-on-one person. So I don't know if that could happen, but it's worth a try. We need to get something done.
Well, I recognize this has been a 6-month answer so far, which isn't good.
Unfortunately, we don't need a whole lot here, so that helps us out a lot.
But what we do have, we need to have it secure and functioning and in the right hands.
All right. Anything else under unfinished business? I'll move on to mayor's communications. Probably the most exciting thing I attend the Mayor's Association meeting every month, and the Mayor's Association, they have a golf outing coming up. If anybody's interested, get a hold of me. I can get you into that. But they did send a delegate of 4 or 5 of the mayors to Japan last month. And they came back with a report the other day. And it was very interesting. And why is this important? Is because a majority of investment from Japan, now in our area, in Summit County, this area is actually from Japan. They're doing more work here. And he says the culture there is quite incredible. He says everything's clean, everything's just pristine. The politeness is something, it's a type of society that I don't think we'd recognize around here, even though I think we live in a nice village. They take it over and above. So it was a pretty interesting conversation that we had with that. Moving on, I met with the Summit County prosecutor here today. Matt came in. He just came to introduce himself, see what he could help us out with. Fortunately, we don't have much need for him here because we don't have a huge amount of crime as you would in like Akron. We don't have drive-by shootings. The worst thing we have here, I think, is illegal fireworks on occasion, but a little bit of speeding. But speaking of speeding, one of the questions I asked them, I said, we keep, every time we negotiate a police contract, the thing that keeps coming up is, can we get part of the ticket revenue? And we're always told that they don't get much, we can't get much. So I said, well, could you check into what we can get, what can be worked out here so that as tickets are written, that we can get a part of that. So he's going to look into that for us. So it's a very interesting conversation. Next thing I have here is the NOPEC. Somewhere here. We'll have to find it later. You can get a hold of me after the meeting. The NOPEC 2023 annual report. So if anybody's interested in seeing that, see me after the meeting.
It is interesting because they show what villages and towns are doing, either one or the other or a combination of the utilities. And we got in on the floor. Mm-hmm. Ground floor on that pretty much, and it really has grown. Really has grown.
I was up I think it was in May, I was up at their new headquarters. Nice building, nice layout. They have really, yeah, you're right, they've grown from a couple people to, I don't know how many people work there now.
It's interesting for them to report that, though, every couple of years, just who's there, and interesting to look at.
Yes, matter of fact, right here's a report, if anybody's interested in seeing it. I also got a note from our fire chief asking if there's any permits pulled for fireworks. As you know, we do have a pretty much no fireworks policy in the village. However, even in our code, it does give place if you pull a permit. We have none, so watch out for that. There's nobody has a permit to do fireworks on 4th of July, and the village is clean at this point.
Do you mind if I add to that?
No, go right ahead.
And the permits have to be pulled by licensed exhibitors.
Mm-hmm.
Not just, I want to do a backyard fire show, I'm going to go ask for a permit. It's a whole procedure. They have to be a licensed exhibitor. And the reason I know this is when I arranged for the fireworks for our bicentennial celebration, even as the village, we had to apply to the fire marshal. The site needed to be inspected. We had to they were insured, but we had to show the exhibitor had to show proof of insurance. There had to be fire personnel on site. So I just didn't want anybody to misunderstand that anybody could pull a permit for a fireworks display.
Right.
So,
anybody
there's
come
a
in.
lot of misinformation.
Well, first of all, our ORC, of course, is available online. Our code is available online. There are a lot of rules around it. Chances are really good you're probably not going to get a permit in Clinton unless you meet a huge amount of criteria. But the rules are there, so you come and ask for one, but unless you meet those criteria, you will get denied. So thank you for the addition there. 2 more things. I did get an email from the Black Artists Guild. And first I thought, okay, this looks interesting. As I read through it, July and August, they will have a number of events in Akron. I have this up here if anybody would like to see it. If you'd like me to forward the email to you, please send me an email. I'll gladly forward that. It looks very interesting if you're into the art and stuff that they have available. The last thing I have is we have a planning committee. It's made up of 3 citizens of our village. one mayor from our village, which is good. There's only one mayor in our village. But it's also made of one council member. Ellen Conroy was that council member, and she is, of course, no longer on council. So we will need to look into finding someone who's interested in filling that seat on the planning committee.
I would be interested. Ellen filled it because when we previously discussed, planning and community development kind of went hand in hand. When Lewis was on, the planning commission, he was the chair of community development. So I would be interested in the position.
I did not look up who appoints that. Is that planning commission pulls you in, or is that the mayor, or is that council votes you in?
I believe it's the mayor.
Oh, okay.
It's usually, we've always discussed it in council, but I think that's what it is.
Okay. As you're looking that up, you'll get the chance for me to appoint someone?
Planning Commission?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, okay, you're interested. Anybody else interested at this point? Since we verify this?
I mean, it makes sense since Marissa's in charge of community development. Planning goes along with that.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I didn't want to walk out of the meeting tonight with someone saying, I wanted that spot. So.
I believe it's the mayor. I know we do zoning.
Mm-hmm.
Council is in charge of appointing zoning and overseeing the zoning inspector. And appointing the seats. But I think.
Well, as he's looking that up, when he comes to the answer, I can appoint you at that point in time. At this point, let's move on to council communications and council committee reports. Marshall, while you're looking that up, also, she was also our reader representative.
Because she was on finance.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that makes that one easy. All right, so is anything under
The only thing I would have to comment on is your community newspaper has hit the mailboxes and it's in there.
And we got last place this time.
Right, they rotate it, and next
fine.
issue will be on the front page.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, they rotate it.
That's, anything else? Council communications, council committee reports? Yes.
I have questions. So I spoke to Jeff, the zoning guy, and I have a question mostly for Marshall and you, Mr. Mayor. I'll wait.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I guess council.
So no, I was just sharing with him, my read of this is that the mayor appoints, the other members of the commission, but I believe council would nominate its representative to the planning commission.
Oh, okay.
Glad we read that. Okay, go ahead, Ross. We'll go with you, and then we'll jump.
So I spoke out to Jeff, the zoning guy, and I printed out our text back and forth, and I asked him about the putting garage down here that looks like a jump. And he pretty much told me, and I got this, you guys all can read it. He said, as long as I see compliance, my department will work with the owner. He's saying that Gordon has removed 4 cars from his property in the last several months, and he finds that acceptable, and he's not going to push any more cleanup because he's making progress. I'm sorry, I got to disagree with that. He might have scrapped 4 cars, but how many more did he pull in? We got oil drums, we got tires up against the building, we got at least 15 junk cars, we got cars cut in half. And Gordon, if you're out there in TV land, I wish you would have been here tonight. He had plenty of opportunity. I don't know if it was you, Mr. Mayor, or if it was Jeff, but one of you guys gave him 3 months to clean up. And you guys made that decision for us, and he did nothing. He supposedly, according to Jeff, got rid of 4 cars. Now, when we drive into town, we have to look at this. When we go over here, we look at the other mess. Jeff needs to do his job, he needs to write these guys up, and they need to get fined. I don't care if it's Jeff's personal opinion that they're making it better. His job ain't his personal opinion, his job is to enforce our laws. And our laws and our codes say that this has to be cleaned up. And I think something needs to be done. And if you're his boss, you need to make sure that he does that.
Marshall, we talked about it several months back, and you were going to give us the proper format and what the citations would be that were written out. Remember that?
I do. My understanding was that he had those forms.
Yeah, that's what my understanding was too, but I still have not seen it properly executed. So if you could,
I followed up with him. He said that he had them. So when
Okay.
you say you haven't seen them executed, he's still not using the form?
he does have some forms that are supposed to be on my mailbox on Saturday. He did say he forgot and that they're up here somewhere. I did look at a few. I didn't see the level of detail, so I'm going to have to get with them and just get some detail from them and make sure these are being put out as properly. And I believe it's supposed to be 15 days. Once citation has been issued, 15 days, the fines start going on, if I remember the process correctly.
Yeah, we put together, I remember it very specifically, that we put together a new form and implemented it. It does have a compliance period, but after the compliance period, when it's up, that's when the fines start to accrue.
He just needs, in his text he wrote, as long as I see compliance, my department will work with the owner. There is so Jeff's gonna make the decision. There's 20 cars, 4 get scrapped in 3 months, so he's working with them.
It is an executive office determination.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would be in charge of that?
I believe the mayor would be.
Okay.
So that's the point I'm trying to push here is the bottom buck
Yeah.
goes to the mayor.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I appreciate your comments, but I also know that at previous zoning inspectors, as well as a lot of zoning inspectors in other communities, when there is a resident that is trying or a business that is trying and making steps, they do try to work with them. I don't know what the good solution is here.
This has been like this. I've been here 30 years. That place has never been cleaned up in 30 years. So your previous zoning inspectors, they all failed too. So let's not let this new guy fail. I've been at this new residence on Clinton Road for 13 years. It still looks the same. If you go to Google Maps, you can go back all the way to 04. It still looks the same. Just because we failed in the past, don't mean we need to keep failing in the future.
I agree, but I think we also all need to remember that this is a part-time position. And if you look at the zoning inspector's quarterly report, he does get quite a bit done. I mean, there's a lot here if you look at it. And yes, can there be improvement? I agree. Yes, there can be improvement.
You know what?
But-
I'll volunteer. I'll write a letter. Marshall will show me how to write it. How long is the letter going to take? 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
I understand your frustration, and I have the frustrations the same way, but I also feel that for the time that he's given, he does get a lot of work done, and it would be nice if there's an issue that we have a conversation. Like, we do have an HR committee part, and if there's an issue, maybe we go to the HR committee and say, hey, could you pull in this employee and have a conversation with them and do it that way. I think that, that fosters good relationships with employees.
I'm not here for puppies and rainbows. I want results.
I understand
It
that.
comes down to the mayor's job. He needs to get on Jeff. He needs
If I,
to go that route.
if I could make a couple comments here. That situation has gotten that way over years, right? So we've not done enforcement down there for years, so now we got years problems. It's not likely to get fixed overnight, even though we want it to. I think what you uncovered, the fact that, we weren't handing out citations or the zoning inspector didn't know we had that.
Last time Marshall was here. is what I said.
That's a huge step forward, right? Now, it doesn't sound like we've implemented that, but the mayor is empowered to do so now. We have those citations. I would ask the mayor that we have some small goals for zoning and see if we can keep moving forward. And if we have those successes, we can turn up the heat and keep moving forward. But we need more. I get the takeaway. We need more from Jeff.
One thing we could do, I remember a previous zoning guy, his issue always seems to be not enough hours. And I know Jeff does do a lot with planning, but it does keep him from doing as much as he could with going through the village. So one thing, you guys might want to consider in next year's budget, maybe look at a few more hours a week. I don't know, it depends on what you feel is necessary for him, but I will definitely have a conversation with Jeff.
I would ask that council remember that he does have a full-time job and that we respect our contact of him during the work hours. We had a problem with that in years past where council people were trying to contact him, not only him, but our previous zoning inspector during their regular job business hours, and it was very counterproductive. So if you're going to reach out, I just ask that everyone please be respectful of at least that.
Yeah, I used to get a hold of him on evenings and weekends just because of that situation.
I don't want my statements misconstrued either. I mean, Jeff, he is active. He is trying. I support him. But giving him an action list is acceptable, right? And that's what I think we should do.
Okay.
Marshall, I have another question. 2 meetings ago, this young smart accused me of such without asking me first. She said you told her that you, council, could file sanctions against me. Could you explain what sanctions you could have filed against me, what you talked to her about?
Well, without getting into too much of the conversation that I had, I will share that I would not have used the word sanctions. There are not sanctions that village council can levy. The word that the parliamentary procedure that members of council or any legislative authority can use to discipline another one of their members is called a censure.
Censure.
Okay. And just one more question. The last meeting I wasn't able to go to. I apologize. I thought it was the third Tuesday, not the first Tuesday. And she wanted to vote Kent in. And she said she talked to you and you okayed that they could do that vote. And then we found out that that wasn't okay. So I'm confused. Was it okay like she claimed, or was it not okay?
Yeah.
Why did we have the vote tonight if she claimed and told the mayor that he was wrong and we couldn't have the vote?
So
Can I answer?
Well, it's directed to him. He's,
Okay, you, then I would like to say something.
Yep. So after the morning after the vote, I watched the video and I went back and I confirmed with what my research had indicated that there are circumstances that will allow a village council seat to be filled in the same meeting. Those circumstances were not present at the last meeting, and to put it very succinctly, a current member of council is not permitted to vote on his or her replacement because by definition there isn't a vacancy yet. And so the bright line rule in Ohio law is that if there is not a vacancy yet, it cannot be filled. And so because of the resignation was effective the next day, you were legally not permitted to vote that night.
Okay, thank you.
So, right, and I will say that when Marshall brought that to our attention, I did send out an email of apology to everyone and to Marshall, and I was taking the information, and I didn't have his stuff in front of me, because in December of last year, I was truly considering stepping down. And I had a conversation with Marshall and said, if I resign if I put my resignation in to say effective the 31st of December on the last meeting, can we do that and can they vote that in? Obviously, there was a miscommunication or misunderstanding. Those were my words, and he came back with, you can do that, but he did not understand, obviously, that I was giving thinking of putting in the resignation ahead of time. And that's where that came from. And I did try to explain that in the email that I sent out to everybody. And as far as accusing anyone of anything, I did not accuse anyone. I read the letter, the email or from the firefighter who was present and felt that there was something done inappropriately.
Without asking.
And when there is a concern or of misconduct by a council person or any elected official, it has to be done in a public meeting. And so that's why it went the way it did.
I would think that if you're investigating something you think is misdone, would it be appropriate to contact all parties? And would that be, Marshall, would you say that, if I thought someone did something wrong, should I at least talk to them first, ask them their side of the story before I take it any further?
Yeah, there are different ways of handling different circumstances, and I don't want to be in a position here to particularly call this particular situation one way or the other. But I personally believe that it is good counsel to seek out the person who you have a problem with first to discuss the issue. But there are unique circumstances in everyone, and it's not for me to judge in this particular instance.
Okay.
I think we'd all be better served. We use Marshall as a coach. That coach tells us where we can find this information. We need to rely on ordinances and Robert's rules and other things to move forward. Marshall said probably is not the best answer for a lot of what we do around here.
Well, if you want, there's 2 copies of Robert's Rules of Order. Here's one. There's a red one somewhere. Maybe it's somebody's
Marshall,
part of it.
I'm sorry if we put you in that position. That's not a good position to be.
We should order the white. It's the 12th edition is the current version of Robert's Rules. The white cover.
All right.
Red cover.
There's the red one. Okay. All right. So we've got that copy here. So going forward, we know there's a vacant council seat. The seat has to be vacant before. I think you've been consistent in this. I think we went over this back in November 2019. September 2017, I'm pretty sure we covered those areas why we're going to invest.
My opinion on filling a council seat has never changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's been consistent throughout. I will tell you that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Go ahead.
We need to have a vote and recommendation on Planning Commission.
Yes. And that is a council issue. Okay.
Yes.
Well, yes and no.
Council representative.
Okay. The council representative is a council decision. The citizen's recommendation is the mayor's decision. So this is because the council needs to decide this.
That's correct. There are 5 members on Planning Commission. 1 is the mayor. There are 3 mayor appointees, and then council has an individual they designate.
And Ellen was on Planning
Yes,
Commission.
that is correct.
I'll make a motion to appoint Marissa Ginsmore for Planning Commission.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments? Grill the candidate? No.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody else wants the position, put your name forward. We'll.
There's a motion on the floor.
Okay, call for the vote.
Blankenship,
No.
Joseph,
Aye.
Ginsmore,
I vote.
Yeah.
You may vote.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Steiner, aye. Godwin,
Aye.
Clacker.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion passes.
Welcome to the Planning Commission. There's also to fill the vacancy for Rita. I don't remember who fills that. I think it's just a volunteer, if I remember, because I think I was at the meeting for that one time. Do you remember how you got on it?
I was asked to be on it.
Okay. Okay.
Wasn't that when you were you were the finance
Yeah.
chair?
This is Rita, tax collector.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes sense.
So, Matt, you're finance. Would you like to be on that?
Fine.
Okay. All right.
Do we need a vote on that?
Doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just ask for a volunteer and they take it. It's one of the few things that you can step up to the plate for. All right. Anything else under council communications and council committee reports? All right. Citizens' comments. First on the list, Louis Rash. It would be nice. People at home want to hear you.
I'd like to say that one of the reasons I signed up for council, the very next day, I seen the monkey show that this council is. It's a monkey show, people. The roads look like crap. They're starting to crack all over the side. It's council's job to go all over town to know what's going on. Now, I used to complain time after time when Al Nack was here. So much that me and him got to scrap. I see a monkey show here, guys. This one votes for that, that one votes for this, and the citizens of this village gets crapped on. I pay 34% more tax now, and I get zero stuff done. The grass. Somebody decided they wasn't going to cut Van Buren Road, the whole road. How many times have I called you, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, quite a few.
And why is the people not either fired or you tell them to do the job?
I will be meeting with Kevin.
I mean, Mr. Ross, you're right. You have to tell everybody that works for this village.
He's saying pretty good.
You have to tell everybody that works for this village, like me, a citizen, to do their job. Now, ain't that pitiful, people? That is pitiful for a citizen have to tell a job worker and call the mayor and ask him, well, you know what I hear? I have no backing, Louis. And you're right. You have no backing. One person got out. There needs to be more. Put their sign up and get out the door. Because I went to many towns meetings. You don't hear this crap. You don't hear none of this crap. And the thing about cutting grass, what the paper he gave you is not right. I called them. They said all sides of the road to the ditch must be cut by the 21st of every month. That's what it says. Ask the village next to us. Ask Canal Fulton. Ask any one of them you want. And that's what they'll do. Now, I'm sorry I didn't get to be on here to work with certain people and get stuff done. But what I'd like to tell you, Mayor, is please, as a citizen and a taxpayer, do your job, please.
Thank you very much, Louis.
And I'd like to see all the citizens, all the council members, to back the mayor like they're supposed to.
Okay, thank you very much, Louis.
I'm sorry if I hurt some feelings.
Yeah, that's okay. Have a seat. Okay, I'm going down the list. I have a whole bunch of no's, but I think I see someone change their mind. You changed your mind. Well, you're next on the list then. Please address the microphone. Thank you.
It's going to be critical, but I'm going to say this because this is only Jackie Gotch. This is only the fourth meeting I've been to since we've lived here. I think it's embarrassing that some of you sit up there and point fingers and there's arguments and the tone of voice that is used to direct at each other. Some of this stuff needs to be said in private meetings. I know you can have executive meetings. Some of this does have to be dirty, aired laundry in front of the whole community and on television. So do better. As for the roads, as for the Jeff's job, all of these things have to be paid for, whether it be mowing extra time, whether it be working extra time with the zoning. So in order to get these people to do more work, it isn't pointing fingers and saying that they're doing a bad job. It is, how do you budget the time? And you have meetings about how to direct that person to get their job done. I also have a lot of experience in this, just because, as I discussed last meeting, I'm a housewife now. I wasn't always. So when you want somebody to accomplish something, you have a meeting, you set goals, you decide if that person has enough time to accomplish what you're asking them to do. You don't text them, yell at them, point fingers at them, and embarrass them about their job performance in front of our community. So I, as a citizen, think that this meeting has been slightly embarrassing, and that maybe we ought to ask ourselves, how do we help each other? As somebody eloquently said, changing the way we think, changing the way going forward, how do you set a new precedent? It's not by yelling. It's not by pointing fingers. It's not by saying this person isn't doing it the way I want them to do it. It's discussing how can you all come together to set those goals to make things better. Is it an eyesore down there? I think most of the community would agree. But is that a tax-paying citizen that has a business in our very small community? Yes, it is. Has he gotten rid of 4 cars? Maybe he should have gotten rid of 8. He's gotten rid of 4, so now we set the goal to get rid of 4 more. But we don't just point fingers and yell. So there you go. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jackie.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. We have a few more names here. Diane, did you change to yes by any chance? No. Diane, for those of you who don't know, Diane Gunner is with the Historical Society. She does so much for our community. And she's just, I love to pick on her a little bit there, but she's great. She's fantastic. Okay, Alice, you have marked a yes by your name.
Yeah, that was just.
That was for that, okay. All right, that's it for citizens' comments. Thank you very much. And moving on to resolutions and ordinances.
Okay. For this first reading, I motion to suspend the rule of the third reading.
Let's read the title first. Then, yeah.
Read the title, okay. It is resolution number R-24-10.
Can you read the paragraph that goes with
A
that?
resolution authorizing the Village of Clinton Mayor and the fiscal officer to prepare and submit an application to participate, excuse me, in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or Local Transportation Improvement Program, and to execute contracts as required and declaring an emergency.
We would need a
Now-
motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rule, the third reading.
I'll second it.
Okay, call for the vote. It's listed, yeah, give us
This
a
is
second.
something that came from, Jason, our engineer. It has to do with the county in application for public works.
Okay, thank you.
So that is the reason for
We're
it.
kind of missing protocol. I really need a motion to adopt in a second before we can, discuss. So,
Motion to adopt
We need
first.
a,
yeah.
no, we just need a roll call on the current motion.
Oh, that's right, we did, yeah.
Okay, I've got it written down. I'm
Okay.
prepared
All
to
right.
ask for the
Go-
roll
Call for the
call.
vote.
Godwin,
Aye.
Steiner, aye. Joseph,
Aye.
Blankenship, Clacker,
Aye.
and Gensmore. Motion to read the three-time reading has passed.
Okay,
Now
we need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
We need a second. Okay, now discussion.
Just so the record's clear, the motion was,
The motion, okay, we had the motion to adopt the resolution number R 2410. This was in the first reading. Prior to that, we had the motion to suspend the three reading rule.
so it was by Ms. Godwin, seconded by,
Rita, sorry, I can't see your last name. Joseph, by Mrs. Joseph.
it's just for the person listening to the minute, that's all.
Okay, thank you. That's why we need you here. So, any questions, comments? I know he did give it a little overview of why we're doing this on a first reading. Anything else we need before we call for the vote?
Steiner, aye. Ginsmore.
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
Godwin.
Aye.
Clacker.
Aye.
Blankenship.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Yes, motion passes, I'm sorry. Go on, next.
Okay. First reading for resolution number R-24-11. A resolution amending the annual appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the village for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Okay,
Okay. Second reading. This is resolution number R-24-09. A resolution authorizing the transfer of funds for the general fund to the street fund, which is a project fund, and street equipment reserve fund of the village of Clinton, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Why is it an emergency?
They all are.
they all are. That's
Why?
to be implemented, well, Marshall, I believe so when it is passed, it can be implemented right away. Is that correct, Marshall? Okay.
Yes.
Third readings. Resolution number R-24-07. A resolution authorizing the approval and adoption of the Summit County Hazard Mitigation Plan for the Executive Department of Law, Insurance, and Risk Management, Division of Public Safety Management Agency, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this piece of legislation? All right, call for the vote.
Godwin.
Aye.
Blankenship.
Aye.
Clacker.
Aye.
Steiner, aye. Ginsmore.
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next one.
Okay. Third reading for resolution number R-24-08. A resolution approving and adopting the Summit County 911 plan and declaring an emergency. Motion to adopt.
Mr. Joseph has issued the motion to adopt. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Steiner issued a second. Any questions, comments, commentary on this particular resolution? Call for the vote.
Can't keep up with you guys. Joseph.
Aye.
Steiner, aye. Ginsmore.
Aye.
Blankenship.
Aye.
Clacker.
Aye.
Godwin.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. And Matt, we're going to get you a class of shorthand to help you out quite a bit.
I could use that.
New business. On the new business, we got a couple things here. Liquor permit for the Covered Bridge drive-through and recycled containers for the community. Who wants to start off?
Well, tell me about the liquor permit.
Okay.
I know nothing.
Oh. Covered drive-through was sold. Rita asked me that the other day. I didn't realize it had been sold, and they need to renew their liquor permit. I thought the email that came out on this said that Leah could just approve without us, is what it said. So I don't know if we need to do anything.
It's just an FYI.
Just FYI, okay.
Right.
So please visit Covered Bridge drive-through. Leah's, I believe, is if she hasn't, it'll be renewed in a few weeks.
The village has the right to object.
Okay.
Right, if they want to object, and then that kicks off a process at the liquor division.
Okay. Anybody want to object to the liquor permit of our number one taxpaying business that everybody drives through as they're going through Clinton?
Duly noted.
All right. Recycled containers. There was our recycled containers that we had that were free at the fire station, I believe, are no longer there. We have bids from 3 different companies to bring them in. I think they go from outrageous amount to not as outrageous amount, but it will be something that we will be paying for. And I think, do you have the number?
If we choose to.
If we choose to.
And
Yeah.
why do we need to?
And why? When everybody has it at their curbs.
Absolutely, and if they don't want to put it there, drive to Cleveland and put it in their recycle bins.
Yeah, I don't
I
want to cut you off. But,
All in agreement with the lady to my right.
well, wait.
I don't see why we even have to consider having recycle bins. We should just vote on that. And be done with it.
It's just gonna fall away. We no longer get the free ones. Our community has access to recycling at the curb every Friday, Saturday, is that the day it comes?
So why should we pay for it?
Is that
Right.
not in jeopardy too?
I'm sorry?
No, I don't think so.
Sad truth is that recycling doesn't go to recycling, it goes to the rest of the urban.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just makes tree huggers warm and fuzzy. Just a fact.
Quite well put. Okay, so it looks like we
I
have
mean,
general.
you asked about numbers.
Okay, yeah.
Republic was $95 a month plus fees for 2 8-yard dumpsters, be about $150 a month to the village. Kimball was 2 8-yard dumpers with $273 monthly, and it looks like those were the only 2 providers we had give estimates.
I thought there was a third one in there.
She did,
There was 3. I was.
she
I
did,
done-
well.
No, not for this
something
reason.
different.
This reason, Lewis.
So she had a line out to somebody else, but they didn't.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like the general consensus here is no.
No.
Okay. I can live with that.
So do we need to make an
No.
actual and vote on it?
All in favor of saying no, say no.
No.
Or say aye. Say something. All right. Any opposed, say no. Yeah, that's one of those yes/no things. It's okay. Any other new business while we're here?
Every year, the Clinton has a community yard sale. It's always the 3rd Saturday in July. And the only real involvement that council has in it is that we typically pay for advertisement in the paper in the local paper for, the Beacon Journal, and, one year we advertised in a couple of papers. It's not that huge of a cost, and it's a service to our residents who like to participate in the yard sale, but we just need, approval to authorize Sue to go ahead and put it in the paper.
You know, I'm almost under the impression, I don't know how much it is, maybe very little, but I don't know too many people still read the paper. Yeah, you know,
Well, and
Clinton Village Talk probably gets a better following than the Beacon Journal, is what I'm thinking.
You may or may not be correct. I don't know, but I do know that we do have residents in the village that still receive the paper. And they also put the paper online for people to read, so it gets exposure.
At a charge.
I'm sorry?
At a charge. They charge you for online and
Yeah.
they also charge you to put it in the newspaper.
Okay, but regardless, there are residents in our community, and the thing is that it isn't only for our community. Beacon Journal goes all over Akron, so it draws people. When you see community yard sales, they think, oh, there's going to be several people out. I'll do that. I'll go there for that one. So I'm just asking for.
You want to put it in a motion with a dollar amount not to be exceeded, and advertise by a certain date?
Third Saturday in July.
It's the third Saturday in July, I don't know what the date is.
The 20th.
I mean, I usually make up flyers and post them all over the place and advertise.
Maybe we should have Sue call and find out the cost.
That's why I say this is only a meeting this month. Let's get I'd like not to exceed a certain amount, and when Sue calls, you know, if it's that important, do we hold an emergency meeting? I said about $50. I mean, I don't know what the advertising cost is. If we put the dollar amount at 100.
It's usually, we usually only put it in for like 2 days on the weekend prior to the yard sale. So at least it gets out there. And the reason why we did it that way, because that's typically when yard salers look for advertisements of a upcoming yard sales.
And also the day before. Usually the day before the garage sale.
Yeah, but we could, and I don't know what the costs would be. And I don't, for a dollar amount, a topping dollar
I mean,
amount, I don't know what to say.
the goal for announcing,
$200?
the goal for announcing garage sales is to get people into the village.
Right.
The paper is traditional, and traditional garage sailors probably look at the paper. I do think it would be wise to advertise on Facebook. It could be as simple as okay, I didn't know that.
I make up a flyer, I post them, physical flyers, and I usually always take a picture of the flyer and put it on Facebook.
I would put one in Marketplace. You can Google garage sales on Marketplace, and it'll pull up.
Sure, but
I can help with that.
do we not want to allow any money to put it in the paper? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I'm fine with that. We've done it in the past, and that targets our traditional garage sailers.
Right. So, and it's a service to our residents. So, I don't know. I have no idea what it would cost. So we would like not to exceed $200, or do we just let her go for it?
Advertising is expensive in the paper. We know that when we have to post for bids, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have that at my fingertips.
And unfortunately,
that'd be a Leah question.
We typically address it the second meeting of the month, and I just thought of it. Oh, we didn't do that.
I'll make a motion for garage sale money not to exceed, advertising in the paper not to exceed $100.
Second.
Okay.
A motion, we have a second. Any more discussion on this?
Well, I guess if it's not a whole lot more money, I'll kick in personally what it takes to get it in the paper the rest of the way.
Okay, call for the vote.
Blankenship.
Aye.
Godwin.
Aye.
Becker.
Aye.
Steiner, aye. Ginsmore.
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, any other new business? All right, general council discussion. Anything?
I'd just like to thank again all of the inquiries about the village council seat. That's awesome. Never had that before.
Pay attention. There might be another seat open soon. You never know.
I know when I was here, I'm fulfilling a seat. I'm fulfilling Bud's seat. I was asked by village council to do that, but I was the only one, so I got all the votes. Thank you.
Hey, presentation of purchase orders and bills for approval.
Thank you, Mayor. Have a higher than usual bills this month. A couple things I'll highlight. We had our payment to New Franklin was $45,000 for police service. And then American Legal was on there. That was our first payment for codifying ordinances. So I think that was $8,200. I'm sorry, let's packet's so thick I can't find what I need.
Matt,
Yeah,
I have a question. You say codified. Our ordinances are already
They are.
codified.
they're recodifying them.
They're just reprinting them and getting them up to date.
Yes, but they're also checking it against state
Sure,
changes.
Sure.
And then, they're putting them in digital format too, so that we can access them online. And that digital format will also be for the police department so that they can load it into their system at the police station. Go ahead. That was it?
That did remind me that they're already online and they are accessible.
We will have to change the link though to their new.
I understand, but until, it's gonna be a while. But since you brought
Yeah,
that up,
they're
anybody that
available.
wants to search code can search the code.
Correct.
It's available and it's,
New
a couple
Franklin was
clicks away.
complimentary on how easy ours are accessible. But again, we need to, I expect that we've missed some state changes where we didn't change things. So when they report back to us, we'll have to make those changes and then, they'll be recodified. I think this is the third time they've been codified my time on council. So,
well, and last time was only because we had to switch companies because the company that we had previous to that didn't want to do it anymore. No.
What happens if somebody breaks those before they're finished?
What do you mean, Ross?
Like, you guys have a lot of overlapping laws, so until the new company makes them up to date, what if somebody breaks one of those? What happens until they're done?
Doesn't the existing law still stand?
Yeah, the current law that we have is the effective law. If there are to be any updates, the part that needs to be updated, to be more clear, are the parts of our code that are related to traffic and criminal laws. That's where you see most of your tweaks. That's what these services do.
Right.
And then typically, depending on your budget, well, you do it quarterly or you do it, once a year, however often, and you pay these services and they will, because they do it for, 600 communities across the state, and they just update everybody's code. What is
like if somebody broke it, so I guess why did we have to spend what'd you say it was like $30,000 to update our laws that there are already laws in Ohio for those exact same things?
yeah, the first installment is at 8,200, which is on our listing.
Right. So I'm still confused on why we have to have laws on top of laws. Because you said last time when I asked you that, it was so if we fine somebody, we could get paid the fine. But we've never fined anybody to get paid anything, so I'm just still trying to understand why we would pay money for something we're never going to get anything out of.
We're in a position where the Barberton court system is where ours would be applied.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not codified, they're not going to apply our code. They'll dismiss it. So
So if we don't have a law and they break the law, then Barberton won't even hear the law. That's what hear the crime?
No, so there's, as you said, there's two sets of laws, right? The Ohio Revised Code,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say it's a misdemeanor crime,
Okay.
driving without a license. And there's a certain specification on it. And the General Assembly in Columbus, they changed the law, and we don't change it. And we charge them under Clinton law, then that would be ineffective because we can't be different than the state. On the flip side, you are exactly right. Why do we have our own sets of code? For two reasons. One is the fines that you talked about. If the police officers cite under their Ohio Revised Code, the fine money goes to the state. If they cite under a Clinton code, we should be getting the fines like you talked about before.
We don't get any. We have.
Well, I'm working on that.
So, and then the second reason is if you want to, you as the community wants to be more specific, and change the law to be, more finite, we have the legal authority to do that. Where the state has not acted, where the law is silent at the state level, we are able to act.
So like right now, all of our laws, our codified laws that we have now, if they're not updated, and somebody breaks those, then they'll get dropped, is what you're saying.
If they are cited under the village code and they're not updated and they are inconsistent, not necessarily if they're not updated, but if they are inconsistent with state law, yes, there's a legal argument to be made that the charger should be dropped.
So if
That's not
somebody lets
necess-
off fireworks on the 4th, they could win then because that's not been codified or updated.
No, I don't think that's right. So the state law on the fireworks allowed each community to choose, but otherwise, as a general rule, said, there are 13 days,
But
if
did
I recall.
Clinton make that after that law or before that law? Before.
Ours matched the state, and the state changed theirs, and ours didn't change with it.
Right.
So ours stands.
So the fireworks is an example of what Marshall's
Yeah,
saying.
But
We have
only
the state,
but the only reason fireworks is a unique example because when the General Assembly changed the law, they allowed municipalities
to maintain.
they made a carve out. But that's not what normally happens on for example, the DUS, right, the driver under suspension charge. They're not going to be making carve outs for municipalities. Oh, you do whatever you want to. The fireworks was such a high profile political discussion. The General Assembly made a decision to allow the communities to opt in or out.
So do we gotta have like burglary? Do we have to have our own law for that?
Again, we don't have to, but we do. And if we do, then our obligation is to make sure that we are consistent with the state.
Okay.
I think one example might be, correct me if I'm wrong, be like firearms laws. I believe in Ohio, if the state makes a firearms law, they don't allow the carve out for us to each have our own. Is
Yeah,
that the case?
there's a case right now in Columbus.
isn't it? Yeah.
Went to the Ohio Supreme Court. It's what's called Home Rule Authority. The government, the local government battles with the state. It's this exact question as to who has the right to control these issues, and the state says that. And I don't know the precise law that was passed with respect to firearms, but let's just say that it's they got rid of concealed carry. So there's no even requirement for concealed carry. You can carry a gun easy. Columbus enacted a law that says no, you must have a concealed carry permit, and these are all the requirements for it. And then someone sued and said you can't do that because your local ordinance conflicts with state law, and that's the lawsuit. And the battle is it's what's called Home Rule Authority. It's a section in the Ohio Constitution, and to dig down one level further, we are what's called a statutory community, not a charter community. If we had a charter, we would have more ability to be the master of our own destiny, and kind of opt out of certain, I should say, it would allow us to modify a larger class of rules and laws than we are currently able to do. And that's if we are a charter community. Most cities around here are charter cities. Most villages are not, but doesn't mean that we are not legally able to do that.
And just because we are an incorporated village, we have a little bit more, with the way it was explained to me by the first lawyer that we had, because we're incorporated, we have a little bit more say in making our own laws.
Absolutely, right, as opposed to a township.
Right.
Right.
But you brought up firearms, but we do have ordinances in our code that add to the code, the state code that we put in there. And when Al Knack was the mayor, at that time, they allowed no firearms to be discharged within the village whatsoever. And then that was looked at again, and then hunting was allowed. But still, the hunters have to follow the state code. You have to be 100 yards away from, to let off a firearm, you have to be 100 yards away from a dwelling. You still have to follow the state code, but then Clinton did vote to allow it, the council at that time. So we can make our own firearms code as long as we are, because we've done it. As long as we follow the state code, we still can make allowances, we changed and added target practicing, as well, as long as they follow the state code. Were we incorrect when we did that?
No, and without going through the full legal analysis on it, to put my footnote on that, as long as we are acting where the General Assembly has not,
And
where the
that's-
code is silent, we are able to do so,
Okay.
right? And that's what I'm
And
suggesting.
that was all put through the lawyer's offices, so but you made, when
Right.
Bud said that,
So-
it made me
so-
question, maybe we were
so-
wrong.
And I guess the overarching theory is, they have to be consistent,
Right.
right? If the state has said something, we can't be inconsistent with that. If the state has said something, we can either say what the state says, or if the state has not said something, we can act.
Yeah, I think there's a
But
difference
what you
between,
can't do is act contradictory to what the general code or what's called the revised code.
Okay.
In case law, they call it general code, but the revised code, analysis.
Okay.
yeah, I don't think the state, covers whether hunting is allowed or not allowed in different places in the state as much as it covers, concealed carry or anything like this. So there's some parts of it that would be, state issue only. And the OFCC went to court with the Ohio Supreme Court over the Columbus issue. I remember that well. So those are things they can, but as far as designating whether we're allowing hunting in the village and where you can hunt, those are things more left to a local level, if I understand the code correctly.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can you repeat what you said about concealed?
Oh, concealed carry? I didn't say much about it. We are a state that you can get concealed carry in, but you do not have to. You can conceal carry without, it's kind of dubbed the constitutional carry is what it's dubbed among most gun folks. But that's, so we can do that. And the state, that's a state of Ohio decision. We cannot say if you come to Clinton, you must have a permit to carry a gun. We cannot do that. But we can restrict your hunting or, authorize hunting in the village or restrict
I
it.
thought you said you had an ordinance, you couldn't.
No.
So historically, we were a home rule government. Are we still on home rule?
So home rule is a concept that is applicable in charter and in statute. We are what's called a statutory village.
Not home rule
The
anymore?
concept still exists. It's much stronger on the charter side than it is on the statutory side. There's a whole other section in the Constitution. There's two subsections in the Constitution that talk about it.
So is home rule gone?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, it's alive and well.
Okay.
Okay, back to where we are. We're under red states of purchase orders and bills for approval.
Sorry.
That's no problem. I've never seen this section take this long. That's okay. I think we have plenty of good information here.
So we were talking about the $8,200. That's our first kind of payment to get consistent with the state. We heard a lot about the state and our code. So they're reviewing that to make sure that we are in order. The only other thing I'll mention, and Bill's here, is the sidewalk project. It went over, it was $65,000. The final cost was $75,000 once they added some fill and unforeseen costs. So that went up another 10. So that drifted well past our original cost. With that said, I'd like to see a motion to pay the bills. They're $179,021.22. Can we get a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Thank you,
Do we
Jan.
have a second?
Second?
Okay, any questions about the finances at this time?
Are they done with the concrete sidewalks?
Yes.
We're done with the project for this year. And we're looking to get more funding next year to replace what we've got. We got, doing down Main Street, the sidewalks looks atrocious, so we're hoping to continue on that. Okay, anyways, if there's any other questions? Okay, call for the vote.
Blankenship.
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
Ginsmore.
Aye.
Steiner. Aye. Godwin.
Aye.
Clacker.
Aye.
We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
You got my job.
Thank you, everybody.
Make a motion.
Yes, thank you. Chuck, good seeing you again. Take care.
So bad.
Usually the
Wrong.
times there.